Livingston.
Here.
Ms. Giuliani.
Here.
Mr. Tolmer.
Here.
Ms. Bellamore.
Here.
Ms. Cimaroli.
Here.
Mr. Fowler. Okay, public comment? Okay, moving on. Adoption of minutes was in the packet for October 27th, 2025 meeting. Comments? Questions? Motion to accept?
I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion.
Okay.
I'll second, sorry.
Okay. Melissa, motion, Justine, second. Any questions, comments? Okay, all in favor of adopting the minutes signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. New business. Item 1, May Avenue Plan of Lots, minor subdivision plan of parcel 255-E-150, corner of May Avenue and Crestview Drive into 2 buildable lots. The plan has been reviewed by the Borough Engineer and Allegheny County Department of Economic Development. Consider action to recommend to the Borough Council that the May Avenue plan of lot be approved. I have some questions. There's a lot of, I guess some stupid questions really. There was a lot of correspondence in this between the borough engineer and something about a deed with more lots.
Yes. All right. So what you have is this parcel, 255E-150, is rather unique, where it's not your typical just that parcel is assigned for that little piece of the borough. You'll see that parcel come up maybe like 3 or 4 times in the neighborhood. Originally, the family was the family that created the subdivision.
Okay.
So these are kind of just remnants from the original property. Is that how you would describe that? So what you have here is a portion of one of those portions of 255E-150 that will be made into 2 actual standalone parcels. So they won't be identified as this when they get, a deed
Redated.
correct.
Okay.
So it would be just like your lot and my lot, so that you could build on it. So the idea now is that these properties will be subdivided and made into 2 buildable lots. There was some confusion by the plan reviewer, and it's probably where you saw some correspondence back, was that it sits unique along May Avenue, but there's a paper alley in the back that don't exist, and then there's a paper section of Crestview Drive to the side of it that don't exist. And the first plan review letter was asking the plan to be revised to show a front yard on May Avenue and Crestview, even though Crestview don't exist. So we came back with revisions on the plan we're not going to require that front yard because it would make the buildability of this lot
Much smaller.
and it really it doesn't make sense. So you probably picked up on some of that in the plan review letters. Everything from the county's perspective was more on the historical context of the property, how you started this conversation out with, where is this? Like, how is this combined? And there was a plan review response from Mr. Colton's engineer that's saying this will be taken care of when the deeds are prepared. And then on the actual plan, you'll see that the original owner of the property is deceased, and there's an estate that is taking care of it.
Okay.
Are the houses up there, generally speaking, same size lots?
Yes, that would be a normal lot for the neighborhood.
So that's a normal lot for up there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Dave is here in the audience, Mr. Colton. He built several of the homes up there,
Okay.
and all the homes are rather attractive. They fit into the neighborhood, and they add to the character of the community. Each one's a nicer attribute to the next.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Anybody else have any questions? Okay. Then I would entertain a motion to, entertain a motion that we recommend this action to the Borough Council for the approval of the May Avenue lots.
Was there any questions for Mr. Colton while we have him here?
You're gonna build 2 houses on it, right? There you go.
That's gonna be nice.
The only thing that really would matter is that we're gonna have to tap into the sewer, which goes, it's really nice because the main sewer goes right down the side of those 2 lots. So, I mean, I don't know if it shows it on the plan or not, but, you know, that was one of the questions that the original questions that the engineers had is where's the sewer? And it's right there. So, everything else, you know, it's all the utilities is normal, but the sewer, the main sewer line is right there
This
as
is
well.
on the backside, right? Like, so 79's behind it?
79's behind it.
Yeah.
What's the size of the house you're building on it?
I didn't have the plan yet, I could bring the plan in if you would, I mean, I actually have the plan, but I didn't bring it with me.
Okay.
If you go up there though, I'm gonna build a house probably that mirrors the last one at the bottom of what they call Death Hill, it's May Avenue, that real steep
Yeah,
hill up
yeah.
there, right below where Bots live. I built that house roughly 10 years ago, and the next 2 almost mirror. There's a lot of them in that. They're split levels, you know, just because of the way that the terrain lies up there. They work real well. So it'll be almost a mirror of the other one.
Okay.
Okay,
Make a motion.
Mike makes a motion, we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, any other further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you very much.
Okay, you don't need me for anything else? Can I help anybody with anything else?
If you get $1 million, you know.
Yeah,
Well,
we'll
the
take it.
bushel of 50s I keep looking for, and it's evading me too. All right, ladies and gentlemen, good night, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, old business.
Take care.
Comprehensive plan project implementation updates. Today, North End Washington Avenue revitalization and traffic improvements. Collier Bridgeville traffic engineering proposals and downtown zoning district adopted. Do you have any?
Yes, myself and the manager from Collier have met with the engineers from Trans Associates, that's who did the traffic engineering for us at the Roundabout project. And then we also met with the traffic engineers from TPD, that was the traffic engineers that did the active transportation plan. Outside of those 2 engineering firms, we haven't reached out to anyone else. We kind of wanted to just stick with the folks that have knowledge of the borough and we've worked with in the past. I essentially went to both with them along the lines of saying, hey, this is what we'd like to do. This is the plan review letter from PennDOT, and then we went through what our end game is. We would like updated, more constructible concept plan, an estimate, a revised plan that will address all the comments raised by PennDOT, taking that proposed project all the way to Bower Hill Road, and then also adding in some of the other projects and plans that were on the table from Bridgeville into that plan, including, you know, streetscaping, active transportation, projects that were identified in the corridor, our goal with the revitalization of the north end. So both towns were in, not both towns, the other town was in agreement of what we were asking, and agreed to pony up 15 grand as much as we did. And our draft budget is out for public display, and council did put in the 15 grand in our capital project for next year to do the project. So I did get the proposal back from TPD, and they can do all the work we asked for 30,000, and I'm waiting to hear back from Trans. When I get the Trans proposal back, I'll get it to you. So hopefully their January meeting to look it over and go from there.
That won't hold up the project at all, wait till January.
No, because I'm dealing with other funders, it's not as fast as just us, so I wanted to make sure that their budget was done and included it, you know, so then that puts us into January, and then we gotta get not only our blessing, but their blessing, you know, so
Okay.
seems logical.
If you get this, when you have people in place, is their focus gonna be on the traffic study and the road layout, or is it gonna be the whole, like, everything, beautification and stuff like that?
We asked for everything.
Yeah.
No, but it wasn't to the point where you'd have construction plans to go to bid. But
Right.
we would have, like we had for the,
Conceptuals.
like we had for the north end, it was
Right.
pretty good, just one step better.
Yeah.
A plan that addressed all the obvious, hey, this doesn't look right, comments from PennDOT.
Yeah.
And I feel like if we addressed all those, hey, concerns from the PennDOT traffic engineers, the rest is rather
Yeah.
behind us, so.
Good deal.
And who was the group that, the SB, what is it? SPC?
SPC, yeah.
Did they have comments?
They did, Fitzy was questioning me beforehand, they gave us back a letter saying that we can't provide any technical comments.
Right,
Essentially, they didn't have the staff to do
Right,
it, they
right.
contracted out, but essentially they agreed with PennDOT, and they did offer their analytical support.
Okay.
They kind of are like the data house
right,
for the area.
Okay.
So they understood the importance of the project,
Mhm.
the impact it would have on the region, supported it along those lines. And
okay, all right.
so our goal there was just to get them knowing Bridgeville, Collier
Right,
are here, or we got a project, we want to be on your radar.
right,
So that was our.
so they're in the loop,
Correct. Yeah.
okay.
Okay, and the downtown zoning district
Adopted.
adopted? Good job.
So that means now if somebody wants to come and start a business in Bridgeville, they have to follow the rules.
I had the first occupancy permit issued under the new ordinance last week. Now, granted, it's for a massage parlor, but it's under the downtown zoning district.
Legal or?
No, it's illegal.
In my eyes, they're all legal. I don't know which ones are illegal. But your zoning ordinance does allow day spas, and it was an occupancy permit issued for a day spa. I don't know what an illegal one is.
Theoretically, if it's being marketed as a day spa, those are usually not.
Well, it's a fine,
I would
it's a
hope-
fine line.
They're, I was just gonna say, they're really more focused on folks who live around there and, it's come here during the day, not in the night, not on,
I would think so.
typically
So-
those are more legit.
What a great memory you have.
But it was the first one, an occupancy permit under the downtown zoning district.
Good deal. Okay, item 3, active transportation plan implementation updates. And before we even start this, I was kind of looking at the way you put the dollar figures in, the 2 columns.
Okay.
And this is just purely a comment. You've done a wonderful job providing grant funding for all.
For the project, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you deserve an attaboy.
That's my job.
Well, I know, but Joe, you do a good job with grants, and that's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge for this community. Okay, active transportation implementation updates, Liberty Street pedestrian path. I did a walkthrough on that path, provided some pictures, Joe included that in the packet. My only, like I said, with the path, there isn't a whole lot there. It would be kind of dark at night. hit Ballard Hill Road, there isn't much of a shoulder there.
We're talking about the thing that you did, all the pictures and.
Yep,
Yes.
yep, Liberty Street.
I'll tell you what, that took us a while to find, because I couldn't believe that anything would go down there, because it's like, the road's right there and there's 2 inches.
So what was, I mean,
But we
just out of
ended up going down there
curiosity,
saying, oh my God, this is exactly, well, what the heck? And the kids get off the bus here and,
originally, I mean, this has probably been here for a more than a few
In the
generations.
eighties, it was a one-way alley, back in the eighties, because I remember my buddy Steve lived up there.
Yeah,
It was one way coming down, so you'd come down,
okay,
and then you would head out of Bridgeville.
okay.
Because we'd come home, drop them off, and like, and we'd scoot up the one way, but we didn't want to go all the way around. It's like an alley, like Janeway,
Okay.
and we would zip up there, but it was a road,
All right,
and then it just got dilapidated and fell in, they paved it.
There was a landslide
Yeah.
Okay.
behind that, the one home there, it's like 827 Bartle Road.
Yeah.
so when you get down to Bar Hill Road, or is there's any bus stops or,
There's a bus stop to the left,
Pittsburgh, PRT?
PRT bus stop.
Okay,
It's probably 300 to 500 feet up the road.
okay,
There used to be one at Cook School Road, which is maybe 100 feet to the right,
yeah,
but PRT did away with that bus stop.
okay.
But I know that there are people that live up on the hill there, they come down walk down this path.
Hmm.
So, I don't know if it was identified as part of the active transportation. And
for what it's worth, I think it's a great idea. It's
Well,
gonna be,
what are we looking to do, just improve it?
it
Give it
doesn't
some
say,
lights.
I would say put some lights on it. Couple of street lights.
Kids aren't using this to get to the bus though, right? This is just for like,
There's no Charters Valley stops,
yeah,
no,
okay.
because they stop at the top.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say a light or two would probably wouldn't be, as long as it's not,
How would that affect that home?
I know,
That's
that's.
in my own.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't,
the home at the top of the
What
Or
are
the
the,
bottom.
no, at the bottom of it.
one of the bigger issues, I think, is it's going down Bartle Road, which Bartle Road has no sidewalks, no
Right.
nothing. So it just goes down to a road, and we have a rather busy road,
Yep,
you know?
and there's
So it's like, we're almost, hey, let's put lights on it so it's more navigable, so you navigate down to the road to your impending doom.
Right,
You know?
Yeah, and I mean, that's the other issue is there's virtually no shoulder down there.
Right.
When you get there, that's it, you're there. And there's no shoulder to walk, I'm gonna call it north, along Ballard Hill Road. And it makes it's kind of a blind spot for people coming north to south along there, coming into Bridgeport.
Right.
Are you
Um,
sure there isn't a berm? I mean,
There's a little bit of berm, but it's so overgrown, you can see it in the
yeah,
picture at the
again,
bottom.
we
Yeah,
were there.
there's not much of a berm there.
Okay.
There's more room on the other side, but it's traffic coming from the north down, come over a hill, and it's kind of a blind spot. The sight lines are horrible. So I don't know if how much we wanna invest in this.
How did this come to us?
It's on the active transportation
Yeah, I
plan.
mean, how-
They got identified as an active transportation project.
Just by somebody in the community?
No, I think, probably, yeah, probably when
Yeah.
we did that workshop.
yeah. Is that part of Bar Hills County, correct?
Yes.
So do they control the addition of streetlights?
No, we pay for streetlights on Park Avenue.
I guess I just was thinking it's a little teeny place all by its baby lonesome up on the hill, and it would be, I think, helpful for a
on Bower Hill. It's at the edge of would that affect that house?
There? No, the only one I would think is if you put one on the hill
On the hill.
behind it.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
But I mean, I think,
How long of
At
a
the-
path is it? What did you say?
300 feet?
yeah. Maybe down in this area, down where, you know, Liberty ends, and there's that kind of, put a light there, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. That may provide enough light. As, I'll walk it tonight.
Yeah, we gotta walk it.
Let's walk it in the snow.
Let's take a field trip.
It's hard to turn around, like it's, if you go down that, it's like, if I take my truck, I barely can turn around.
Kick turn, 5 times.
It's really tight.
Um,
But the topography isn't,
Yeah.
it's mountain.
Yeah. But I know that there are people that walk down to that bus, so,
I think why it first got on the radar, it used to be very overgrown.
Yeah.
And 2 years ago, we had to get a sidearm brush cutter in there to just expose the asphalt again. That's probably where this got on people's radars. Before, if you look at these pictures, it used to be a lot worse.
Yeah. I mean, there was some leaves and sticks on it, but I mean, it was still very walkable.
Yeah, and I know, like, we cut the grass there on the other side. That's the bird was that.
Okay. Well,
You're not gonna do any winter maintenance though, right?
No, there's no real maintenance on it.
I just worry about like, once you get down there, if people are going to a bus stop, it seems like they're either gonna go, where are they gonna walk to?
Yeah, I think before we just put up streetlights, we need to see like the full
Right.
context here.
Right.
I mean, it'd be nice, ideally, it'd be nice if you had a sidewalk along, Barwell Road.
Yeah, it's my neck. Let's talk about it.
So, put a pin in the lights, and let's look at the bigger picture, because that's an easy, if you can address Barwell Road, that's an easy jump, it's like, yeah, we're gonna do that too.
yeah, well, and, I mean, the question came up why, what the issue was there, so, that was my main thing for,
I think we should table it until we have more information.
yeah, that's fine. But at least now we've got an answer
Right.
why that's on
Right.
the list. Okay, moving on. Chartier Street crossing to Park at Winfield. PennDOT request update.
Where
So
are we?
PennDOT, there's a letter in your packet.
3A.
Oh, I thought it was, all right.
So if we go back a couple months here, we went to PennDOT originally saying, hey, can you put a mid-block crossing just to get you to the park's driveway? They came back and said, no, we can't do that, but we can put a new sidewalk from Bank Street to the park. And it was like, what, 450 foot of sidewalk on the south side of Chartier Street. And you guys already approved it, went to council. At that meeting, Mr. Kumar said, I think this can be done without having to do all that with some type of slope or mediation in front of the park that would just take the sidewalk from Winfield to the park. So council tabled it and said, hey, go back to PennDOT with Bob's revised concept. So I went to them, and then you see what we got back from them on November 20th. And they basically came back saying, hey, I'm sorry, we can't do it. The crossing, I'll quote, the crossing and additional sidewalk would increase their project by over $900,000 by adding a section of retaining wall at street level and rock at the driveway. The current project's planned to be constructed during off-peak seasons of the park. They think by doing that, they would add 2.5 months of construction at the park access that would impede, entrance and exit of the park. It would also require additional right-of-way, which is, that's no big deal, it's the borough, so that kind of was moot. But they said based on the impacts to the scope, their timeline and budget, they can't do it. They understand the desire for the crossing, but they're unable to provide it, but they will still do the sidewalk from Bank Street to the park at no cost. So essentially, we tried.
Which one?
We took a swing. We hit it. We didn't get home. We just got the second base.
So, I guess, I personally still am very unhappy about the situation, but,
Yeah, I get it too. Yeah, I understand.
do we have any other options?
I don't believe so. Maybe another option, maybe like a state senator, state representative, and meet them out there. That'd be the other option here.
So we can't enhance the crosswalk that's there without the speed limit being reduced, right? Is that where we were before? Like the existing
No, there is
crossing?
correct. There is no full
Well, yeah.
crossing.
Right, that's right.
And they said to put a mid-block crossing there, with it being so close to the bend, 30 miles per hour, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
So we started this whole conversation. We've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah.
We pitched some stuff with them. So we went to, hey, can you lower the speed limit? And then that came back saying it don't meet the requirements to get from 30 to 25. So we're like, okay. And then that's when Bob came up with, well, don't go at the park, go down at Winfield. And then maybe it could be a set of steps. Maybe it could be a ramp. Maybe it could be a kind of sidewalks from Winfield to the park.
Do you think we could put another light fixture up at the entrance, the driveway entrance? I mean, people are still gonna cross there. Like we don't get any kind of crossing. I don't know, a lot of people who are gonna walk all the way up the neighborhood to Bank Street to use that on the Upper St. Clair side. But like, is there any way we could put better lighting at the top of the driveway?
I don't know. We can definitely look into it, but we want to, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I guess we don't wanna
Yeah,
encourage.
street
people
lighting,
doing
it sounds cheap, but it's expensive.
Yeah.
For one street light, it's $1,000 for them to place it, and we pay each month a flat rate for that light from here on out, so we don't want to just pump a light in.
Well, the thing though is that if they're going to rearrange that entrance during this construction period, right? Now might be, we might want to think about doing something, an additional light, so that when they get to that point,
Yeah.
We
Is
could
there
say-
a deficiency now?
No, I was just thinking, like, if people walk there anyway, so would it be possible for us to just make better lighting, knowing that people are going to cross illegally right there?
Is it dark now, though?
Yeah.
Dark at what time?
Like when it's dark. I mean, I would be waving,
If you're walking down into that park when it's dark out,
yeah,
you've got a couple of screws loose.
okay.
Um,
Maybe if you
Well,
make
I'm sure that
barbecues
there's a
so
lot
that
of-
they would go.
I'm sure there's a lot of kids that just don't
That's not
care.
you, that's
Right,
your
right.
dog's walking.
Yeah, I'm sure there's like kids.
The dog is the walker, you're just with him, right? I mean, would you personally choose to do that at Dark 30 at night?
If I didn't have
If
a
you
big
didn't have
enough
a
dog?
Yes.
No.
No, well, no, neither would I, and
Yeah.
as many thousands of times as we have walked over there. I've never done it in the dark, and I have no intention of doing it in the dark.
Joe, how easy is it to find PennDOT's requirements for speed with their,
I don't know. Yeah, I know, like the warrants for a stop sign,
Right.
I think I can reference a manual.
yeah,
They'll reference a PennDOT manual. I can ask for it.
yeah, just
I don't know what they are.
why is it so difficult to go from 30 to 25 or 35 to 25?
Yeah, I don't know. Even we asked them for Bank Street.
Right,
And
right.
they said no.
And I know from that discussion about the roundabout up there, and the traffic study that was done, that their main goal, PennDOT's main goal is to move traffic at
Yes,
the fastest speed they can go.
I don't know about the fastest, the safest.
Right. So,
Yeah. I'll ask, I'll get you that.
I mean, it might just be interesting to see if there's a way that something could be maneuvered. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
knowledge is power, right? Okay, that's it.
Thank you, Joe. Item number 4 on old business, west side of Bridge Park, playground possibilities. Joe provided a list last month, provided it in your packet again this month.
There may be other areas, this is just some suggestions that I knew of.
I got a question about this. So, up off of like May and Crestview, there's a couple areas, or, I mean, 5 acres, 6 acres, that's a pretty big area, right?
But some areas are flat, a lot of it is wooded, yeah.
It's wooded and sloped, exactly.
Yeah.
So, could we do something interesting? Like instead of a traditional park where you walk and it's flat and people walk their dogs, actually use the topography. Like, you ever been to the Pittsburgh Zoo? They have an area for kids and it's like a side of a hill, and there's like wooden decks that you walk up and you stop at a deck, and then there's like cargo ropes where your kids can climb up and stuff. It's like they use the whole hillside as part of like this, like, you know, kids would just play. You know, instead of like, oh yeah, we have a park, here's a park, there's swing sets. Oh yeah, have you seen this park? It's like built on the side of a hillside, and these kids go, I mean, they can go and do, like, be pirates or whatever, you know?
Yeah, that's very cool.
And instead of like, you know, hey, we're limited to what we can do up there, so let's not do something that's not look like, we need a 1 acre flat area where we can put a pavilion and a set of swings and a, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, you're thinking
So
outside the box.
make it something totally different.
A
Or
1
people-
acre pavilion, anchored into the mountain, into the hill?
No, I'm saying, instead of like saying, hey, we need a 1 acre flat area where we can put a pavilion of swing set like every other park, let's think of something different, where you have like an observation deck up top, you know, and it overlooks
Something
it.
that utilizes the.
And then, yeah, the kids can, and there's a slide that goes down the hill into something, you know.
Well, I think it's great, and, I mean, the first thought that I think long-term, we should look at that. For right now, I'm looking for a little swing set and a bench for the mother to sit.
I know. What,
You know,
no, I understand that. What I'm saying is, you know, I mean, we could put that somewhere, you put that up top.
I mean,
But-
we can all go to the zoo and see.
Another field trip.
Can we talk with Allegheny County about it? Because every time Guy and I go down there, we walk through Bridgeville's part of the park and Allegheny County's part of the park, which basically we stop when you see the Upper St. Clair Rec Center.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how far we typically go. I mean, I a couple times have gone another half a mile or so, but now I just decided I'm too old for that park.
Yeah.
So, that's one of it is my favorite, park in Bridgeville. And I'm just wondering if there's more, I guess I'm not directing this at you, I'm directing this at the group,
Yeah.
Crowley especially.
Well, we're
Joe.
looking at a park on the west side. The west side of Bridgeville,
Okay,
west of Washington Avenue.
So,
Is the whole discussion here,
okay.
Yeah.
because there is no park either.
Oh, yeah.
so
Okay, so you're not looking for the expansion of Church's Park?
Not yet,
No.
that's another discussion for another time. We're looking at a parklet that's over on the west side.
And the only property that Ridgeville owns currently is that one at the end of Crestview.
It's another steep slope.
Is it enough for a swing set?
Maybe at the end of the street would be out of place.
Okay,
But there may be features up there that could tie into something.
okay.
It's, that piece of property is like, it's folks' backyards.
Oh, okay.
It's
yeah,
not like
Okay,
you drive down the street and there's this, yeah, it's unique. If you went to Crestview, at the end, the terminus of Crestview,
Yeah.
you drive right into it, but beyond that area of the road,
Okay.
it then parallels Patterson Avenue, and it's the hillside, and
Okay.
folks' backyards.
Is there any flat space back there?
Not really.
Okay.
There may be something, but it's probably folks' backyard,
Yeah.
you know.
There was flat space, where you built 2 houses on it.
that's okay. They must have known.
It was funny, 'cause when we started this whole conversation about this, he came in the office the day before about subdividing that lot, because it's like, I'm thinking, well, there it is, it should be where item 1 is, you know?
Yeah.
But I think it's nice to see the homes, but,
Yeah, exactly.
but it was kind of funny. But it was purely coincidence, it wasn't anything with this one.
But we, I mean, there's other opportunities that we could have a place to put swing set and a bench.
This property that's behind Mayview Street at Burette, that's abandoned, is that,
That's the one we're talking about.
I mean, is that a possibility?
I think so, but like, it's one where if you're smart, maybe have the engineer go up, that you still maintain a buffer between the highway and keep a lot of the woods, so that the woods act as a natural buffer.
Right.
Because you just on highway, there's a playground that would be rather out of place, but I think there's a lot of area between the border and 79 to make up that you can still leave the woods, but there's a shelf and then it drops.
Yeah.
And then there's some areas where it's funky terrain, but then I've used that maybe as a good thing, because I'm always looking for places to put creek fill, you know, something, okay, this is a long-term project, maybe 2-3 summers of creek clearing could level this out, you know, and that's good fill, so that's where I was like, okay, this seems logical.
Should I hear you say you're gonna put a rock climbing wall? That'd be cool.
Could I record them?
But maybe like, no, it definitely needs another set of eyes on it to see if it could be constructed. And if it could be constructed there, it would require some communication with Allegheny County to acquire the property through their vacant property recovery program. That's how we can get title to it.
At a cost, or is that fairly free?
No, you pay the appraised value on it, and that's how we can.
At the bottom of the hill,
For the municipality part, you know, some, like, it avoids the legal costs.
Yeah, okay.
is there any right of way at the bottom of the hill?
Bottom of the hill, we mean.
Which, you know,
So you have the, Mayview's up here, May Avenue.
Yeah.
May Avenue's up here. Hillside goes down to 79. And I'm assuming 79 has so much
Right
space
away,
on both
yeah.
sides that you can't do a damn thing. But is there any room outside, like where 79, where if we wanted to put like a walkway with a wall or something, just to get it away from the highway?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a good question, because essentially, this area here was laid out, when the borough was laid out. If you look at like, an old map, you go on the Historical Society's website, and on their homepage, they have a very nice old street grid. You'll see streets up there, like, I think it's called like Chambers or Chambers Avenue, and that's what this is.
Okay.
But the border was always the same, like, you'll see, this is in Collier, right across the line.
So
That's Vilar's Avenue, and that's just like a dead street.
Okay.
And that's where we do drop deers, yes. But essentially, there's no reason for anyone to be back there. If you go back there, it's very nice, but that you walk there, but no, like Bitsy would say, there's no reason why anyone should be walking back there.
Yeah, a dog with a nose.
Yeah, I wouldn't be walking.
You know,
back there.
Okay, I was just curious though, like, that's too,
No,
that's
it's,
closer to Patterson, I guess.
yes, correct.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so what are we thinking here?
Field trip.
I think
Yeah,
we-
we
I
have to
think
go out
we,
there and look at the property. Because I mean, I agree with Justine that we do need to be looking at a property that could provide like the swing, the play sets and stuff.
I do think you need to have two.
Yeah,
It's not big.
No, I'm saying, I think you need two
spaces.
locations.
Yeah,
one up top by May Avenue, and then one down by St. Agatha's.
yeah, I like the idea of that
Whatever
property.
whatever they're calling it now.
That's St. Agatha's one.
For this,
Do we know any of the value of that lot?
No, I don't. I know it was recently acquired by the church. I don't know under why or what
Yeah.
the reason was. But I think maybe the next time the engineer's in town, I'll just say, let's go for a quick ride up there and bounce it off
yeah.
and say, hey, is this doable?
Yeah.
And then like, I looked down and I'm thinking, okay, if we did a couple years of grading work, we could make the Justine vision
Yeah.
a rather smooth reality. But I don't know how much you can go out, you know what I mean?
So just does it, just from experience, between the wooded lot, 6 acres, and the St. Agatha's lot, any idea where most of the children are? Would it be one over the other?
They're equal.
They are equal? Okay,
Yeah, I agree with Mike, I think we need both, like two,
okay.
one on the hill,
We'll
one.
put that on the schedule for 2026.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Okay, any further discussion on that?
No.
Okay, item 5, the Environmental Advisory Committee. Item A, Baldwin Street Pollinator Garden improvements.
We put it to bed a couple of weeks ago. So it's having its winter solstice.
The pollinator garden?
Yes.
Okay, so we don't need to discuss the improvements?
What is entailed in putting the garden to
Do you want to speak to the improvements?
Nothing?
Oh, you just wait
That's
till
what we're talking
water
about
over
putting
it.
it in that area, so. Yes,
Kids,
it's
some
some
stuff
sheet.
around it.
I drew the expert drawings.
Oh, with the sheep.
Okay, yeah, so,
She's
Justine,
going to speak to the
Yeah.
improvement.
Okay,
yes,
okay.
just very quick. So Justine and I had talked about like actually trying to finish off the space. So, you know, there's this nice garden in the middle of that lot right now. But then it's kind of, you know, disheveled or something. So this was just the stuff that she and I had talked about trying to do to kind of finish out that lot. Under the trees in the back that look like sheep in the drawing. Add a shade garden. And then the other thing was, we talked about like trying to really just define off or kind of portion off the grass areas to make this easier for public works to go down there, zip around, cut the grass and get out. Like now they're having to navigate around a lot of plantings and, you know, mulch and stuff. So like if we could have that whole middle space and then that back under the trees just all be wood chipped and mulched, then they would just be kind of, when they come over to cut grass, they would have that little front area to focus on, and then that area to the right-hand side along that gentleman's building.
So potentially the whole lot would be just mulched.
Yeah, except for a little bit of grass in the front on the left-hand side and then along the right-hand side.
And I don't know, I find it easier to cut grass than pull a lot of weeds. Is there the ability to maintain all this when we mulch all this?
We would chip it and keep it mulched well. We're not gonna really have a lot of weeds to deal with. We shouldn't.
We'll know in the spring.
I mean, the native plants are gonna come in, they're gonna really take over that place, they're gonna grow in so thick that weeds won't grow where the plants are growing.
We had done,
It's just a proposal, I mean, that'd be, and I know there's,
I don't care, as long as there's a way that, don't think it's pretty, you guys can maintain it.
Yes,
Like,
of
there's
course.
no way I
Right.
could have our crew go down there and weed.
No,
giant-
no,
yeah,
no,
I don't think
not
anybody
at all.
expects them to.
I don't ever
Yeah.
think that we ever
No,
anticipate
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, 'cause-
any outside of lawn mowing.
Yeah,
All of a sudden,
That would
that's
be
doable.
if the mulch is there and it's all of a sudden you have weeds, like grass,
Um,
just take over.
How about the bench from CV, from that person that was gonna donate?
Yeah, we haven't got that bench yet. Pad's there already.
She texted me like 2 weeks ago that the engraving finally was done.
Okay,
So I think she figured it would just be easier now to install it in the spring.
okay.
Well, it's no the issue now, the pad's there,
Yeah.
so we can install it tomorrow. It's
Oh,
no big
okay.
deal. The pad's the thing that we would have to wait for, but
Okay.
that's done.
Okay.
But I'll put this on my calendar, come March, April, we'll meet again and come up with a plan
Okay.
on how you wanna do
Okay.
it.
And do we want another bench down there that we could ask the Lions for? Or they,
You already did.
oh, okay. For this lot,
Yeah.
okay, all right, okay.
It'll be probably August.
Oh, okay, all right,
Okay,
okay.
any further discussion? Okay, moving on. Vehicle charging stations.
What stations?
Vehicle charging, electric
My
vehicle.
husband wants you to know, go get them.
Well, it's one of the things, I mean, this is probably a parking authority thing because it's gonna impact parking lots unless we have a place in town that's public.
So we should go to parking then, parking.
Well, I
authority.
mean, we could probably make a motion and make a recommendation to parking authority, right, Joe?
Seems logical. It would be nice if you're gonna do them to do in the public parking lots, so that
Right.
way you're charging your car, you go to the
I mean,
establishment.
you know, I still find it hard to believe that Tesla wouldn't put one in the middle of Bridgeville, one or two charging stations. They're right, 10 minutes away, unless they're not doing it because
They
they're
went
10
up in
minutes
South
away.
Redding to Giant Eagle.
Right. So,
Yeah, I don't know what kind of infrastructure needs to be placed, but, I mean, this is something that needs to get considered,
Well, I
I guess,
can
and I
tell
guess
you-
maybe we make a recommendation to the parking authority and go from there.
I can tell you from the standpoint of not Tesla, finding recharging stations in this area is not too super easy. And the closest one is up at South Hills Village Mall, which I think he thinks that they built that because of the mall.
Yeah.
Just because there's a lot of car traffic that comes to the mall. But he also, we were talking about it tonight, and he said all the times that he has charged his car up there, there's a couple of charging stations for Tesla and the rest are for not Tesla. And he's never had anybody else there but him. And, so it's just, that whole charging thing can be,
Is the
say again?
parking authority, I know they've been talking about the main lot over there, doing improvements, are they gonna do it? Is there anything on their schedule for next year for improvements?
They came talking to us together to resurface lot 2. Because I even said, hey, if you're interested in doing that, why don't we can offer you piggyback in our road bid. So if you're serious about repaving this, I can find a way to save you money.
Because I didn't know if it was just a matter of just gonna repave it, or if there's any other improvements you're looking to do. If that's the case, that would be the time to do it.
Right.
So, I mean, they won't be in the black anymore if they repave it, but,
I just also wanted to throw in, guys, that if there's anything that he can do to help on getting a recharging station, he'd be glad to do that.
Okay, well, do we wanna make a
I think we
recommendation or?
we should, I think it's, I don't know if we want to make a recommendation, or if it's,
Inquire.
yeah, and see what their plans are, and see if they'd be open to,
I mean, hey, they're flush with money.
I make a recommendation. I think it's nice.
I think.
yeah, make a recommendation. Yeah, I like it, make a recommendation.
I would take a motion.
I'll make a motion that we are going to recommend that the regional parking authority includes a charging station for EVs, for lot.
EVs.
EVs.
In
for-
lot 2.
In lot 2.
Okay,
That's not right?
so I got a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second. Up me.
Okay, Bitsy, second. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried. Okay. Dark sky stuff, we're 5 minutes out from 8 o'clock here. I would propose that we table the dark sky stuff till January. Any comments, discussion?
No, not unless they're going up in price.
Everything's going up in price. 1 to 5 year plan discussion. I sent out some ideas. Memos in your packet. Most of these I just either took off the active transportation or the comp plan stuff. And I'm just trying to think about laying out some ideas, laying out a plan for the next 2 to 5 years. We could certainly make it longer, but I'm just trying to make sure that, we've accomplished quite a bit this year off the active transportation and comp plan. I just want to keep that momentum going and just try and, by putting together a plan, it makes Joe's life a little easier for trying to come up with budget issues and planning and stuff. And hopefully with some of this stuff, we either, prioritize it, or what, if there's other ideas that need to be added to the list, that's fine, but I'd like to have a little bit of discussion here about other people's thoughts and ideas.
I think, and Joe, you were on planning, and Gail was on planning, when we started with the comp plan, right?
No, I was.
Were you gone
manager
already?
for
Well,
Colin.
we started.
When Tim Knapp
I was
started
on her
with
list, yes.
this, okay, well, here we go, here's his Excel spreadsheet, and we had to identify what we felt was important, the cost of it, and what the residents would think about it, right? And then we started to narrow it down from there. And I'm sure that process has a name to it, but it really did open my eyes, the fact, because you're considering everything, And I think here, if we include timelines, all right, it would be beneficial, I mean, just as a guidance, we don't have to keep to it. All we need to better understand is like if we're all gone in 3-5 years or something like that, planning can go back and say, hey, okay, so what was their plan for year 5, 6, 7? You know, because in all honesty, I think we're doing a great job with keeping track of where we need to be as a planning committee member.
If we just keep it as an agenda item, it keeps progress.
Correct.
And if we don't have anything, and we don't have like our implementation talks, that's when it becomes the cliche plan on a shelf.
Right, right.
You know, like that's where people go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's as simple as, for instance, at the lot next to the Owls Club, right? Right. So my thought is, maybe we should make a bocce ball court down there, right? It's like, it's a perfect lot, it won't cost all that much. We talked to Gail at the Owls Club, would they like to, you know, take care of it or whatever, you know? That's something that could be done in a matter of 6 months. And it's an accomplishment. It gets finished one of those lots down there. So,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah, what Dale laid out, over 1 to 5 years is definitely doable and would have substance to the
Right.
town. Yep.
Comments?
I had a couple, you know, obviously there's stuff on the list that we're working on, right, like North End. Yeah, that's big picture stuff. The trail connectors for Charters Park and Fairview, I mean, we were, after the last council meeting, we were sitting at OTB. Apparently Montour Trail has a meeting on Monday nights.
Oh.
And they all go there, so we're like talking to them, we're like, yeah, we wanna talk to you, you know, what can we do about, you know, to move this forward? So there's stuff like that that's, you know, it's on our radar, it's already going. The only one that I have on my list, you know, is like the rain garden, pollinator gardens, that's kind of like, you know, those kind of go hand in hand. You know, we have empty lots, let's do both, whatever that makes, they're not big dollar items, and, you know, we should be doing that. That should be checking off the list type stuff. The parklets up on the west side, I have it on my list, but the one that's not on the list is Presley Road. You know, we've talked about it in the past. You know, it's a bad street, not like bad as in, you know, it's just a bad traffic-wise street, and there's not a lot of answers there, but, you know, it needs to, you know, maybe dig deeper to see what can we do, instead of just putting on a shelf and say, you know, we're not gonna do anything.
but should that remain as part of?
Is it part of the north end?
No.
It's on the active transportation.
Correct,
Right.
it's on the active transportation.
But it was just, hey, it's so big
It's
of
a
a problem
massive-
Right.
that it needs a study of its own.
Right,
Right,
exactly.
right.
So when Dale's saying, hey, 1 to 5 years, you know, 5 years seems like a long time,
It's-
you know, but that would be my long-term.
Yeah, and we could certainly.
That would be the one I would say, hey, for a long-term project, or, you know, how do we figure out, a lot can change in 5 years, you know, there might be more grant money out there, you know, North End we might be doing the North End, and they're like, hey, you know what, we could do the North End, but now you gotta turn up on Presley, you know, and now you have another problem.
Right.
So you need to address that.
Yeah.
So-
So you're spot on, because it's
Right.
funny, it's like the 2015 North End plan showed the bottom of Presley Road being wide, and it's silly, us widening it, and then we allow that parking thing to still continue.
Yeah,
Well, and I mean, you know, I got no issues of, you know, I was just trying to get a short
Absolutely.
snapshot and put together a bigger picture, and,
100%, yeah.
yeah, we
So
could.
that's my 2 cents.
Okay, so we put together a 1 to 5 year plan and maybe a 2 to 12 year plan or something like that. Okay,
12-year plan
It's just an arbitrary number I picked.
No, I know, I'm just saying that I think at some point in time, you have to go away from the word plan to the word vision or something, because plan, in theory, if all of us are doing our respective jobs, plans turn into actions. You know, there's no sense in just planning and then, even if the action is mostly over here in the
We
seat.
did a comprehensive plan, and it's a 10 to 20-year plan,
Yeah.
so.
When is our first feet to the fire update about the comprehensive plan? Aren't we supposed to be held responsible for,
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's
Essentially,
actually, we're being graded on progress.
well, I mean, wasn't that part of the original plan was that there would be certain quarters?
no, it was essentially do what we're doing, is make sure that at minimum quarterly, it's an
Correct.
agenda item that
Okay,
implementation,
all right.
or projects are identified, and then
Okay,
implementation is discussed
okay,
at a minimum quarterly.
okay,
And that's what Dale's been keeping us on.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Most people don't do this.
Somebody's gonna hold your feet to the fire, and that's me.
I know that one. I'm just saying, like, most towns don't.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, most of the time, the comprehensive plan
Yeah,
goes up on a shelf and it doesn't get visited for 20 years, and then
So the
it's
next
like,
one.
oh my goodness, what do we do now? So, okay. So, what do you want me to try and put some timelines to this and for next meeting, or?
I mean, you could, I think it's pretty, honestly, it's not simple, but I think some of them are, like the park lights, that could be a short timeline. The pollinator gardens, rainwater, those are short timelines. North End's a long time. Presley Road's a long time. The trails, trails is a medium timeline.
But I think those big ones, like, you don't just say it's big and then we get scared of it.
Exactly.
So I think we need to have, okay, if it's big, what are measurable,
What's the
attainable
first
goals?
Right.
Year
Well, just-
1, 2, 3, 5.
Like the North End, for example, what are the goals? Well, we already started the goals. We did you went and were putting $15,000, the other Collier's putting $15K in to do the comprehensive plan, so to speak, for it. That's a goal,
Yeah,
right?
and then I think it's pretty logical that for that project, this time next year, the revised preliminary design, cost estimate, right-of-way plan, everything that we did for the roundabout would be done, and essentially we'd be pitching the project to SPC to, hey, can you help us with a grant? Like, that would be goal for year 1. I think that'd be nice.
And I'll try to pull that all, I still have all that documentation from Tim Knapp as to how the grading.
Yeah, and then that's what we used, the Tim Knapp rating. We were kind of at a
Correct.
paradox of this, but we didn't have a plan. It was, hey, what are the projects we'd like to see in town outside of a plan? Uniquely, everything here is within the 2 formal plan documents. And we used that, we call it the Tim Knapp rating.
Yeah.
And that's what created the scope of work that I ended up using to do the comp plan.
Right.
And that's how that all came.
Well, yeah, and basically most of that information that we used came out of the old comp plan.
Yeah, we went through,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Right.
So, okay, public comments, Mr. de Blasio?
Thank you very much. Mike was talking about Presley, the north end. It's a very difficult problem to figure out where parking needs to be in that area. It's a critical item to the development of the north end. I would encourage you to put on your 2026 to identify where the planning commission thinks parking should be. I suggested it to the planning commission because where that parking should be at the north end is bigger than parking. And about development, it's about the North End Road project. It's not part of the SPC grant. The SPC doesn't care about parking. The parking authority doesn't have a lot to figure out yet, so it's not really part of the parking authority. I can suggest to you that determining where public parking or parking should be at the north end of Washington Avenue lies squarely within this body's thought process. I'm going to very quickly go down 3 that have been looked at. One about midway up Cressley to the left. I'm trying to remember the Hill Street, right? Hill Street. The second, the Air Sciences Consultants Building, that building that's no longer. Does everyone know the building I'm speaking of?
The old church.
Behind Shoots, the old church.
Okay.
The old church. Okay, has potential. The 2 houses behind that building would be a potential. None of those are easy. All of them have problems associated with them. Every one of them I've looked at. I don't have the answer. If I did, I'd tell you. I am encouraging the group of you to think about it because it is difficult.
One of the things, and I just got an email from the professor at Pitt Engineering Group, right? And we can go and visualize their current students' plans that they worked on for the past quarter, right? Now, he's already said that if we're interested in doing anything else with him, and that's why I always thought it would be a good plan to get them involved in parking for the north end and just see what the concept they come up with. Who knows? So.
Can't go wrong.
Right, I mean, it's free, right? So.
You have an issue with St. Clair Street there, where there's a great deal of demand. I'm going to suggest that the answer is in something larger, not small. It's going to be something that's going to take some money to do. Just like
Wait,
it's
it's not free?
No. Not only isn't it free, but it's going to take a lot of effort to find, the people that are sitting before me. It's going to take a lot of effort to try and come up with a good solution. You want to see it's been done though. If you take a look at the lot around Bergs, that didn't exist. That was created out of redevelopment. And it took a lot of work. So, other than that, it's not on the agenda. Have a very, very Merry Christmas.
Take a motion to adjourn?
I'll second, but I first have to say, thank you, Joe, for all your interest in planning.
Yes, Shelley.
Part of my job, I gotta be here.
We will miss you.
I'm